Greetings, my fellow Davos piano players. You probably heard the news that we got a brand new sound system, and that's, by the way, behind us is Nando. You all know Nando. Nando, just he's yeah, there he is.
Hello.
Anyway, I thought I'd give you guys a little tutorial on how this works, because the man that installed it showed me how to use it, and I'm glad he did. Once you figure it out, pretty simple. So anyway, he showed you the speakers. There's speakers all over the room here. And these speakers can all be adjusted individually with volume controls. And the sound is really good. It's really great. So anyway, come on over, Nando, and we'll give these guys a little look. Ta-da! Look, isn't that sweet? Ooh, sexy. So anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll start with the plug-in section here. This is pretty standard, although the difference with this one as opposed to the old one, there are not as many phono inputs as we had in the old one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and these each have a channel, and there's also stereo inputs here. These are like maxi headphone jacks. One is for headphones, and over here you have auxiliary out 7, 8, and in there somewhere 9, 10, and here's the other channels here, 19 and 20. And there's 17 and 18. These are stereo inputs, I believe. And then there's these little things that branch off, of course, right? And then all of these XLRs are here. And the great thing about here is that there's a lovely drawer here, by the way, for cables. And Phil, the guy that installed this system, left us with 4 of these cables here, which are great in case you need more inputs, right? And if need be, he also supplied us with 2 direct boxes. So we have 2 of those as well. So you'll find lots of cables in here. There's little XLR cables and there's phono cables. And so there's all kinds of stuff. And there's also a new music player for the break, which we'll talk about later. But first, let's get to the meat here. So this is pretty self-explanatory. These are the gains, of course. Now, let's just get right to the beast here. These, as you can see, it's all virtual. It's a touch screen. And over here you see inputs 1 to 8. You just touch on that. And of course there you see the mixers, right? And your sliders. And if you want to change the volume on each one, you just simply touch the slider. And you can either manually move it up and down with your finger, or, which is very convenient, this big knob here. And if you notice, when I move the knob, the slider also moves up and down, which is really great, by the way. And each channel also has a mute, so you can just hit that when it turns red. Of course, the channel is muted. So, and then over here we have page 2, which is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And as you can see, I already programmed channels for myself. Now, all of this stuff can be saved on a USB stick. And it's also saved internally as a scene, if you're not familiar with these. And I saved my scene, and it's called Barry, obviously. And you can save it all on a USB stick, so if in the event it's all erased, you still have a backup. So here's inputs 1 to 8, 9 to 16, and here's there's the rest of them here, 17, 18. These are the stereo channels that I just told you about. And 19 and 20, and you can see it actually moving, is for the house music during the break, which is currently running in the smoking room, and we'll talk about that. The other 2 things don't really concern us. Two-track playback. Well, if you're using, actually yes, this will concern you. I think Johnny, you use playback if I'm not mistaken. So there is an input for 2-track playback, but knowing you probably just want to use 2 channels. But the 2-track playback is probably, I'm guessing, over here, Nando, somewhere. Huh? I don't know. I don't know where it is. You have to figure that out. Anyway, you can even record yourself. I don't know how it's done. But anyway, that's that. And then the next screen here is the effects masters, which I don't really have anything to do with. Now this one here, auxiliary outputs. These control the volume for all your speakers. Okay? So let's go through these. You got these 2 here, left and right. What does that mean, Nando? That word, saule.
I think it's Saal, but
Saal.
it's wrong.
Okay.
The right.
Well, anyway, these mean
It's the room on the left side.
Yep.
Saal links, I think so,
And on the right.
Saal rechts.
Okay.
On the right
and
side.
by the way, these two, by the way, are linked. See this little thing in the middle? So when you, as you can see, when you control the volume, they both go up and down at the same time. And in case you're wondering, those are the speakers that are in the far corner on the left and over there on the right. So those two control the volume for those. And I find the best area is right about there. Like maybe like a 2 out of 10 position is the best volume. Now we have this one here, and once again, touch it so it turns blue. This is called the bar. Let me get that out of the way. Bar, and those are two speakers that are in the far corner. In the corner, but by the bar. That's why they're called the bar speakers. So that's the volume, and in this case, just one slider controls two. This one is called the lounge, and that's for the room next door, the smoking lounge. And as you know, there's 4 speakers in there. And once again, keep the volume right about this level. Something new this year, they have speakers out in the hallway now, in the corridor, behind the bar there, that hallway. So I don't usually use those anyway. But if you want to use them, once again, you can control the volume. Now, you notice right now I have all these muted because during the daytime, Jessica wants to have music in the smoking room. So I have all of these muted except in the lounge. And I have some soft music playing in the lounge during the day. So these control all your volumes for the speakers. And the most important volume is this one right here, which is called main. Now, this does not control all of the speakers like you would think. This button controls, and Nando's about to show you, the 2 main speakers next to the piano. So the main volume control only controls these 2 speakers. It does not control all the other speakers. So this, for me, is the daddy of all the volumes. This one controls the 2 speakers next to the piano, okay? So usually when I do my gig here, I usually have this one as, up a little more than everybody else. So people can kind of speak in the corner and stuff, right? So that pretty well sums up and if you want to hear it, by the way, I'll just do this. And you can hear the music, right? So there we go. So like I said, during the daytime, I have all of the speakers muted except the lounge. And then, of course, when I start my gig, I unmute all of them. And here, for you guys that use a monitor, because I don't, I just use the headphone jack with my in-ears. This is for your monitor, but I don't think this controls it. So ignore this, because your monitor speaker, which is under the piano, you can place it where you wish, is actually now controlled by auxiliary volumes. So you can feed whatever volume you want. Now, if you want to set up your own scene, you press up here, I think, no, I could be wrong, where it says Barry. Let's see if I'm right here. And here, I'm guessing you can create a scene. Not sure. But it doesn't matter. If you want to overwrite mine, go ahead, because I'm going to save mine on a USB stick anyway. There must be a way to make a new scene here. I'm not sure. But if need be, I will leave Phil's number for you. But as you can see, my scene has already been made. And every now and then I save it. Right? I press the save button and then save again. And then it says overwrite, yes. So that way my scene is saved. And I can't seem to find how to start a new scene. Oh, maybe it's under the menu. Let's try that. Oh, look, this button here called, I pressed menu, scenes, and once again it takes us back. Maybe if we hit default, or maybe not. Well, you know what? You guys are going to have to figure this part out. Or maybe internal default. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, just overwrite mine if you want. I don't care. Now, for you guys that use the monitor speaker, let's go back to the channels, okay? This is how you change the volume for the monitor speakers, because Phil, the guy that installed it, hooked it up this way. Okay, let's say here's your vocal here, right? This is my vocal. So you actually click on the word vocal, and then you see this page. Now look up above here. If you want to change the EQ for your vocal, it's pretty basic, right? You hit the EQ button, and see this, right? These are your gains. This is like, you know, the bass, medium treble, and treble. You just simply touch whatever you want to change, and you move this button up and down, and you can see the little thing moving up and down there. See? La, 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 la. So that's how you adjust the EQ. If you want to add compression and gate, go ahead. I don't. And if you want to press the effects button, and this is your reverb. I'm using this one called Dance Reverb, which I find sounds pretty good. But you'll notice there's other ones. There's a couple of other ones here, and I don't know if there's a library or not. Oh, here's how you adjust the actual reverb. So let's go back to that again. Previous. Yeah, no, hold on. Let's just do this. I'm getting confused. Okay, back to the voice, vocal. Hit the vocal button. Yeah. You may as well just stick with this. Is a pretty good reverb, and if you want to make it more reverb or less reverb, just touch that so it highlights yellow. And once again, you can either use your finger or you can move the thing up and down to adjust the reverb. Now, to adjust the monitor volume, you go to aux, AUXES, click that, and then you'll see right there the word monitor. This controls the volume going to the monitor, in this case for the vocal. So you touch that, and then you move this up and down so you can adjust however much vocal you want in your monitor. And then this lovely button here takes you back to the main page. Ta-da. And then just click on piano. And once again, it's linked. So just touch the monitor, and then you can control how much piano you wish to put in the monitor. And then once again, this takes you back to the main page. Is there anything else you need to know offhand? Let's see. Over here you have the phantom power if you're using a condenser microphone. Oh, these buttons are of interest. This button here, well, pretty well says it all. That mutes everything. This button here just mutes the music during the break. So let's say the music, we'll have it on now. Music is playing. Let's see. So then you can go back to playing. Back to your break. So, whatever you do, I did this once. Do not touch this button. For some reason, this button turns everything to maximum. I don't know why. It's a useless button, so do not touch that button under any circumstance. That includes you, Nando. Oh, there's something else I was going to... Yeah, no, I'm going to talk about the playback music in a moment. Nando, is there anything else I should cover with this? I can't think of anything else.
I think it's everything.
Yeah, it's pretty, guys. It's pretty basic. Once you see it, it's really simple. And if you want to name your channels, I think if I'm not, so just touch where it says, like in this case, vocal, and maybe let's try setup. Yeah, setup, right? And then you touch that, and then and then enter, right? So it's really basic stuff, really basic. Now, during the break down here, we have the new player. It uses CDs and it also uses USB. I already made a USB stick that Miss Dietrich gave me for break music. Now I have this thing running 24/7. I never shut it off. I just keep it running. But in the event you have to start it up again, hit this to USB, and then what I do, I hit random, and then I hit this twice, play all. Or something like that. So that way it just plays forever. So that's what I do for that. And I think that pretty well explains that. I don't know what else needs to be explained. I think that's pretty well it. If you have any questions, guys, just send me a message, okay? Shoot me a message. And if not, I will I'll try to leave Phil's number. Or just send me a message saying you want Phil's number, and I'll get it for you. That explains it all. Piano is still the same, but the sound is really excellent in this room now. It's a great sound, and you guys are really going to love it. And break a leg. Ian, you're here tomorrow. Have a good one. And Johnny, you have a good month as well. And take care, guys.